Wrestling that happened this weekend at MetLife Stadium, 2 nights of SummerSlam. Oh my goodness, Josh, where do we start?
There's so much to talk about with this show, good and bad.
Should we start with Saturday and work our way to Sunday?
Yeah, but overall, I liked the show. There were a couple matches that I'm like, why is this on SummerSlam? Why? But overall, I liked it. I will say my favorite match of night one, I wasn't expecting this, but it was that opening tag team match. I really liked it.
I think it was the second best match on the card. It could have been third. By the way, I know we're skipping around here. I'll just say this. I thought Joey Rowe absolutely killed it. And I enjoyed that tag match a lot. I was surprised by the outcome, and I liked it. I like the fact that Logan and Drew got the win because I think it can mean Joey Rowe comes back and maybe we get Joey Rowe versus Logan Paul down the line, WrestleMania in Las Vegas. But I don't know. I thought like night one, like you, I thought it was okay. I thought night two was better personally. There were some matches on night one.
Issue with night two, as much as I loved night two, I do have one little issue with it.
I have one issue with it too. There was one match I was not happy about. I think we might be in common consensus on it.
Okay, but my one little issue was basically every match on night two was no DQ, no DQ, no DQ. And I know that Dom versus AJ was supposed to be a standard match, but it wasn't. And so
I did think the way they ordered the card was strange. We said that beforehand. There was 3 tag matches on night one. None of the matches on night one had a stipulation. Then 5 out of the 6 on night two had a stipulation.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it felt like all 6 matches had stipulations.
Okay, that's fair.
And not that I didn't enjoy them, but it felt like at times we were repeating spots, and it didn't.
I felt that when they went from the Women's Intercontinental Championship match to the Steel Cage match.
Yeah. By the way, I loved the Women's Intercontinental.
Oh, absolutely killed it. The TLC match, which I thought was great, complete car crash. I thought, why are they following Becky and Lyra up with the TLC? I was like, that's such a terrible spot for them.
You have it the other way. They did TLC.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They did TLC first, and then they had Becky and Lyra follow it. Yeah. And I thought it was a terrible spot for them, but those 2 ladies absolutely killed it.
And aside from, wait, I'm supposed to keep the zip tie on.
Listen, that was one of the best Extreme Rules or whatever you want to call it matches in WWE we've seen in a long time. Maybe outside of Punk and Drew at Hell in a Cell, because it felt like a real blood feud. They used different weapons, a crowbar, a zip tie, a legitimate toolbox, kendo sticks.
Wait, when that toolbox came out, did you get flashbacks to 2019 Hell in a Cell?
I did not, but Becky using it as a weapon, I absolutely enjoyed because we've never seen
I certainly got flashbacks to 2019 Hell in a Cell, Fiend versus Seth Rollins. Toolbox comes in. Nope, you can't do that. You can't do that.
That might be the most infamous match in the history of professional wrestling. It might be one day.
Yeah. But like I told you countless times, going into Money in the Bank, that was the match I was most excited about and interested in, was Becky versus Lyra. And it was the same here because I've just been so invested in that feud. And the way they worked Bayley into it at Evolution was...
And you called Becky retaining, and I'll give you credit on that.
Yeah. And since she's come up to the main roster, and even going back to, when she feuded with Roxanne over the NXT Women's Championship and her feud with Becky over the NXT Women's Championship, I've been a big fan of Lyra Valkyria. I think she should have beat Nia Jax in Queen of the Ring last year, but she didn't. And now that it seems like she's done with this Becky thing, she should feud with Bayley, and then I would push her into the main title scene. I really would.
I think she definitely needed to work on her promos, which I think this feud did. The problem is right now, Josh, while I might agree with you, she should be in the world title scene on any brand. I prefer to be on the SmackDown title scene because I think Raw's got a log jam right now at the top.
By the way, just like that triple threat match was unbelievable. And
I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was as good as the WrestleMania triple threat.
So, wow, that's surprising to me. Right before the match started, I actually made a prediction. I was like, Naomi's going to get out of the ring, and Io and Rhea are just going to proceed to, like, turn to each other and just start wailing on each other. But they didn't. They're like, well, Naomi's out there. Let's just go and get her.
Yeah, and of course, I did enjoy the finish because Rhea hits the riptide on Io. Naomi comes in, does the rope on Rhea by grabbing the tights, and it sets the stage for Rhea Ripley to eventually get her championship back from Naomi. Like, that is like...
Oh, I'm not sure about that one.
Oh, no, that's like Survivor Series. That's Naomi and Ripley for the world title.
They could have Stephanie take the title off of Naomi at Clash in Paris, and then you give Stephanie a bunch of feuds, and then at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas, Stephanie versus Rhea for the title.
I could see it. I don't think Naomi's going to have that short of a title reign. And I think they're building. I thought they were building towards Naomi and Jade at Crown Jewel. Now I think they're building towards Naomi against Tiff.
Well, first, before Naomi gets to Stephanie Baker at Clash in Paris, she's got to get through Io Sky next week.
And listen, there was a time period where back in March, Rhea Ripley faced Io Sky on a Monday Night Raw, and we said there's no way Io's winning the title here, and she did. So, could she do it again? I guess it's possible.
Yeah. I would love to see an Io versus Stephanie Baker match in Paris.
Oh, I would not. I already told you. I don't buy Io Sky. I don't get the love for her at all. I think she's a terrible wrestler. I think that's the stupidest gimmick ever with her winning her. She can't, and not anything towards any country or anything. She can barely speak English. She doesn't cut many promos. She's this tall. I think Alexa Bliss might be taller than her, for God's sakes. I don't get the love for that woman. I don't. I'm sorry. I will never understand it.
I think she's great.
What does she do to captivate an audience? It's like this.
I think for me, it's her style of wrestling that she's the genius of the sky. And
because she does one move, a moonsault.
Well, the moonsault is pretty incredible, I gotta admit.
Charlotte does a better moonsault. Tiffy definitely does a better moonsault.
That's a match I'd love to see. Tiffany against Io. Ooh.
Now that I would agree because they're both similar heights.
But I totally get the love for Io. I'm fully in that camp. But those were two of my favorite matches was Becky and Lyra and the triple threat match. But do you want to just go straight to the main event? Or
let's not beat around the bush. If you hate on this Punk and Gunther match, I'm going to do to you what you did to me in the Young Bucks. I thought this was one of the greatest matches I've ever seen in my life.
It definitely was fantastic. I'm not going to lie. And
the way they set this up, this is what I tried to explain to you last week on the show. You mentioned it was only 2 weeks of promo. But the only thing they needed to tell in this story was CM Punk was the best in the world. Is he still the best in the world, or is Gunther now the best in the world? And Gunther kept playing it up. Like, he kept taunting CM Punk, and, even when he went for the sharpshooter, he's doing the pose. So you knew then and there Gunther was not winning this match. Gunther was going to get too cocky, and CM Punk was going to eventually catch him. But the way they did it, with Gunther just constantly beating down Punk with those chops that sounded like a frying pan hitting the chest of CM Punk. Then Gunther taunting on the announce table, and for Punk to drop him face first on the table. And for Gunther to come up, his face in a crimson mask. And this is what I try to explain to you about Jon Moxley is this is how you use blood. You don't have to bleed in every single match. Make blood matter, because Gunther being bloody was an absolute pop because we've never seen it before. Gunther has never tasted his own blood, and for them to do it there, followed up by not one go to sleep, but 2 go to sleeps, not only protects Gunther and makes him a machine because he wouldn't even fall down after the first go to sleep, but it protects CM Punk as well. This was a master class.
I loved the spot where Gunther kept looking like he was going to fall down, but he wouldn't.
Yes. And again, I thought this was a top 5 match I've ever seen live in my life. This was a master class of the sport that we love in professional wrestling.
It was definitely a fantastic match. I was surprised at how long it went.
I think it needed to be. And by the way, the show started at 6 p.m. It was over by 9:30, 9:40.
Yeah.
So it still felt like it didn't feel like it went on for, I'm not going to say 6 hours, because the pay-per-view last month did go on for 6 hours.
But it was one of the best 6 hours I've ever spent in my life.
And I know it was. Listen, that was one of the best 3.5 hours I've ever spent in my life. And again, I got to say this before we move on. Randy Orton, Joey Roll, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre absolutely killed it.
I thought that tag team match was okay. I didn't think it was terrific or anything. I did love the frog splash Logan Paul hit.
Yes,
on the announce table.
And Joey Roll to take that bump. And again, I don't think this is the last we see of Joey Roll here.
I agree. This is not me trying to hate on Joey Roll or disrespect Logan Paul in any way. But me personally, I would have preferred it to be just a straight up singles match. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. That's just my personal taste.
I wanted to ask you this, because you, as am I, are a big country fan. I never asked you. I'll ask you 2 things. Number 1, are you even a Joey Roll fan?
Not a huge Joey Roll fan, no.
The other thing I wanted to ask you is, do you know about the local country music station we have here in Cleveland, 99.5 WGAR?
Yes.
Do you ever listen to the Bobby Bones show at all?
No.
The national, okay, it's the national syndicated radio show, syndicated all over the country. Well, they were talking about SummerSlam on Monday's show because of Joey Roll, and the host, Bobby Bones, a big wrestling fan. He was talking about how much he loves wrestling. And one of the co-hosts was absolutely shitting on wrestling, saying that it was the fakest thing she's ever heard. And they played Michael Cole's commentary of him saying Joey Roll's out cold. And she is laughing her ass off, talking about how is he out cold when this is choreographed. I thought it was hilarious.
And then we got the ruse of the century.
Yes, we did. And I got to be honest, they rused me all the way to the end, because when Rollins came out, I thought, oh, okay, he's just going to cut the promo. He's really hurt. He's not cashing in. I believed it all the way until he dropped the crutches. And then I said, oh, shit, it's happening.
Yeah. If I'm CM Punk, though, why did you continue to stand in the ring? Just run away.
Yeah. So that's the thing that I wanted to talk about. I get it. It was a jaw-dropping moment. It was awesome. what I would have liked is instead of Rollins running down to the ring to hit Punk, when Rollins drops the crutches, why didn't you have Breaker and Reed come up from behind Punk and attack him?
Yeah, I know. Because, like, the moment Seth Rollins' music hit and he dropped the crutches, I just would have had Punk come out and meet him at the ramp and beat him up.
Or what you could have done is have Reed and Brunson attack him, have Rollins crutch himself down to the ring, then he drops the crutches. Maybe it would not have been as a dramatic moment, but I think it would have made more sense in the storyline aspect.
Yeah. It was overall night one was good. You know, I do find it interesting that we had 3 tag team matches, and overall on the show, I think there were only 2 title changes. Right?
On night one.
No, I think overall.
No, Punk, Bliss, Charlotte, and then obviously Cody.
Oh, well, okay. So what, 4?
No, that's 3. If you want to count Rollins, it's 4.
Yeah. But I was surprised Jacob Fatu did not win the United States Championship.
See, I was not. This is the match I wanted to talk to you about because this one fell flat for me. This one never got out of second gear for me, and everybody I talked to said the same thing. Something was off about this match from the get-go. I predicted it to happen exactly the way it happened, where the MFTs were going to screw Solo out of the title because they want to build up these MFTs because Solo to me is
screw Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, because they want to build up these MFTs, and Solo to me is a lot better in a group than he is on his own. But why they didn't even attempt to do a moonsault in the match, why he did it after the match when they left the 2 guys in the cage, the undramatic ending where Solo just fell out the door.
Yeah, I hate that. WWE needs to stop that whole thing. Like, the only way to win this match is by pinfall or submission. Stop with the...
Oh, no, I disagree with that because the cage door thing has always been a thing, even dating back to the 80s. I mean, Jesse Ventura didn't know on the last Saturday Night's Main Event, but that's always been a thing. Typically, cage matches used to only be able to be won by climbing over the top or for the door. You never used to be able to win by pinfall or submission.
It's so stupid.
But isn't that the point of a cage?
Like, to me, Solo didn't actually win the match. He didn't.
Well, I would have booked it and have Fatu try to climb over the top, have Solo go for the door, and have Solo beat Fatu out.
Like, I would have had, if you were going to have Solo beat Fatu, have him hit the spinning Solo and pin him 1, 2, 3. What's wrong with that?
Well, this way it protects Jacob more.
Ugh. But I hate it. I hated that steel cage match. It was for me, it was the second weakest match on the whole card. It was.
Yeah, I mean, right up there with Sammy and Cross, which did not get out of second gear, and it sounds like that would have been Karrion Kross's last appearance in WWE.
Yeah. The 3 weakest matches on the card for me were Sammy and Cross, steel cage match, and I'm sorry, but the Randy Jelly versus Drew and
wow, because I thought Randy and Joey absolutely killed it.
I thought that was one of the weakest matches on the card. I really did.
It is time now, Josh, to get into the main event. I'm in full costume, baby. You can't see me because the face turn is here. John Cena, Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship. Here we go.
So you don't want to start with the big return that we had, the very big and controversial return, might I add?
We'll talk about that after we get from the match. I thought this match was John Cena's best match in 10 years.
I very much enjoyed it. At the beginning, I'm like, why are they just having a regular standard match? This is a street fight. But then they decide to, get street fight elements in there and stuff. That was part of my issue was you had, the TLC match. You had Becky Lyra, which was no DQ. The opening match, whatever it was. Oh, you had the triple threat, which was no DQ, even though they didn't use no DQ stuff at all. But still, like, by the time we got to the main event, I'm like, me and a lot of my the guys I was watching with were like, what is there left for Cena and Cody? You know what I mean?
Well, what was left for them is to go out into the crowd, for them to hit a Super AA, for them to hit a Super Crossroads, for Cena to kick out of a Super Crossroads, and we got Super Cena versus Super Cody, and we even got Cena bringing back the spot where he throws the big steel steps over the ring apron early on in the match. And my favorite spot of this whole match, I couldn't believe the shot they got. Tremendous camera work when they go underneath the ring. And they come back up in the elevator shaft, and
you mean
Cena's
underneath
there.
The stage?
Yeah, and Cena's there, and he's got the look on his face like a heel Cena's back.
Yeah, again, I kind of wish they hadn't just done the face turn on SmackDown. I would have preferred them to do it during this match. That's just me.
How do you do it during the match, though?
I don't know, but I think they're...
If Cody doesn't turn heel, how do you do it?
I feel like they could have found it. I'm not sure, but knowing WWE, I feel like they could have pulled it off. To me, it just felt like, oh, we're just going to end this. Let's have John turn babyface on SmackDown. That was like, really?
It was, but by the way, I think it worked. Did you hear the pop? That man got a Super Cena chant. When the hell has John Cena ever gotten a Super Cena chant? They used to get booed.
Oh, I'm not saying I had an issue with it. I just wish they would have let him stay heel through SmackDown and then somehow, some way turn babyface again during the match or something.
Well, Cody may not have turned heel, but there were signs that the heel turn still coming.
Yeah, I agree with you.
When he cut off the rope, is when I thought, oh, were you like me? Were you waiting for like a ref bump or something?
Yeah, I thought for sure there was going to be a ref bump or something. Oh, we never addressed the CBS thing that we were talking that Grandizer asked last week. I forgot about that.
You're right. We did not. Sorry about that, Grandizer. But yeah, you know, and let me just say this. I know they're doing the whole passing the torch moment. It was like The Rock to John Cena at WrestleMania 29, you know, and Cody to Cena. Yeah, Grandizer. We did cover the Browns news, by the way, early on in the show. Go back and listen to it. But my point is this. In my opinion, John Cena did not pass the torch to Cody Rhodes. John Cena passed the torch to Roman Reigns, who then Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 passed the torch to Cody Rhodes. And I know they're trying to play it off on commentary like Cena to Rhodes and that babyface, but Cena hasn't been the face of the company for 10 years. It's Roman. And Roman to Cody was the passing of the torch.
Yeah. It did feel like a passing of the torch moment. Whether it was to Roman or Cody, I guess is debatable. It seemed like it was more towards Cody.
See, but what I'm saying is Cena did it to Roman. Roman did it to Cody. They didn't need to do this.
Yeah, I agree with you. I did like that it had the stipulation. Yeah. And that they kept kicking. I know you probably didn't love that they kept kicking out of each other's finishers because, you know, I know that's your big issue.
Well, it is an issue for me except for this match. Because you got Super Cena and you got Super Cody. And what bothered me is once Cena kicked out of the Triple Crossroads, I knew Cody was kicking out of the Triple AA and the Avalanche AA.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of would have liked it if the camera guys had followed Cody and Cena under the stage, but then you wouldn't have been able to get that shot.
Yep. All right. No more beating around the bush. Let's get into it. He's back. Doom, 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 doom.
I don't know how to feel about this.
Oh, I absolutely love it. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to put this out there right now. Brock Lesnar has never been technically accused of anything. Look it up on the internet. You can disagree with me if you want. That's the truth. His name may be in the lawsuit, but he's never been accused of anything. As a matter of fact, the most of the words that have been used in the lawsuit is former UFC heavyweight champion, which implies to be Lesnar. But technically, from everything I've heard, he has been cleared of all wrongdoings.
So we'll get maybe Grandizer, but I popped hard when Brock's music hit. I'm not gonna lie, but because of all the out of ring stuff in terms of the lawsuit and the allegations, I don't personally love it.
I don't think there's any way they bring him back if he had any involvement. I'm just going to say that. They have been very protective of distancing themselves away from Vince. Brock was banned from WWE for a long time because of the incident. And John Cena has basically come out and said, I want Brock Lesnar. I'm going to get Brock Lesnar. So fuck yes. Give me Cena. Give me Brock. Clash in Paris. I don't know what kind of match they're going to make it because I know it's not going to be a singles match. But if we get that and we get a WrestleMania program with Brock and we get a next year SummerSlam program with Brock and Gunther in Minneapolis to send Brock Lesnar into retirement, I'm good with it. I don't care.
See, I'm mostly okay with it, but with given all the legal stuff, not fully on board with it.
Here's the thing. WWE doesn't need Lesnar, but Lesnar makes WWE better. It's like Cena, right? They don't need Cena. Cena has main evented every WWE PLE this year, I'm pretty sure. They don't need him. But you know what? They're better with him.
Yeah, they definitely are. It'll be a good program. I'm not going to lie. I'm definitely interested. But again, am I excited about it? Yes. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I want to be at a 10. I really do. But because of all the out-of-ring stuff and the lawsuit, and we don't know all the facts. We don't. I understand what you're saying, and I fully respect what you're alluding to, Brandon. But for me, it's I don't have all the facts. I don't have all the information. I don't know who's telling the truth. I don't know who's talking out of their ass. So it's for me.
That's fair, and I understand it. For me, I don't know, man. That music just brings back everything. And it's Brock, again, I feel like Brock hasn't been accused of anything wrongdoing yet. Obviously, if something changes, and we can have a different conversation about it.
Right. It's not to compare Brock Lesnar to Hulk Hogan, but
Hogan's was caught on video. I mean, Hogan's a whole different thing.
But here's what I'm getting at. I'm not trying to compare the two situations. More so what I'm getting at is with both of them, it's hard to separate fact from fiction. That's what I'm getting at.
That's fair.
That's what I'm getting at.
Let me throw this at you real quick. I'm going to throw two things at you before we maybe for Grandizer, we'll go back and talk about the Browns real quick. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to throw the War Games men's match out to you.
I think I have an idea of where this is going. I would guess it's going to be the Vision on one side with two other people.
So my guess is Rollins, Breakker, Reed, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
And I think Lesnar maybe, but if you can't get Lesnar, Logan Paul.
I could see it. And then on the other side, you've got probably Roman Reigns, John Cena, CM Punk, LA Knight, maybe Sami Zayn.
Oh, no. I was going to say the other two are Cody and Jey Uso.
Oh, okay. The reason I'm throwing Sami Zayn in there is because since Rollins has that title, I feel like you have to do that feud.
I think Sami's going to win the Royal Rumble next year in Saudi Arabia, and they're going to do Sami and Rollins at WrestleMania 42 for the world title.
I would absolutely love that if they did that.
I also think we are setting the stage. I think we're going to get back to Roman and Cody. I said it last week. I believe it's still. That may be where we do the heel turn, Josh. Does The Rock come out and screw his cousin? And after Roman tried to screw Cody over all those years, Cody does it back to Roman at WrestleMania 42 and wins the trilogy?
I've seen on social media that it sounds like WrestleMania 42 is going to be Cody versus Roman 3. I would personally, if you're going to have Randy Orton turn heel, which I think is the plan, that's where I would do that match at WrestleMania. Babyface Cody versus heel Randy Orton. That would be an excellent feud to do at WrestleMania. That's just me, but
I think you could do it, but I think Cody and Roman's bigger. It's no disrespect to Randy. There's just something about Cody. Cody and Roman is our generation's Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah, I understand that. Here's my thing with the women's tag team titles to get to that match. I'm fine with Charlotte and Alexa winning, and they retained their titles on Raw last night. But let's have other teams ready to challenge them. Don't have it be that, the titles have just vanished into the Phantom Zone, like what we've done in the past. I want it to be
like what we've done with the Women's United States Championship.
Bingo.
Or the World Tag Team titles over on Raw. My God.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, okay, you've done a good job, like building up the women's tag team championships. Now give me some story. Give me some teams, like the Kabuki Warriors. There's probably other teams we could put together,
There's a Secret Harvest. There's the Kabuki Warriors.
Exactly. There you go. It'll be interesting to see.
I will say, we know, and you talked about this a couple of weeks ago, fall is typically WWE's downtime, whether it's Monday Night Football and others college football on Friday nights. It feels like a lot of times after SummerSlam, WWE sort of goes in that sort of stay in neutral gear a little bit to Survivor Series and Royal Rumble time. I actually feel like we got stories to tell. Like, I think this is going to be a fun fall, more fun than usual.
So I watched Raw last night because I'm like, well, that was a really good SummerSlam. Let's see how they follow it up. Every single match, distraction, interference, confusion, every single freaking match. And I'm like, really? This is how you follow up SummerSlam?
LA Knight, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Triple Threat, Clash in Paris, sign me up.
Like, as soon as that match was announced for the main event, I'm like, that match is ending in DQ.
It is the new regime trump card. Hey, by the way, I didn't ask you this, and I've been meaning to ask you this. Are you interested at all? Have you watched any of the WWE Unreal documentary?
Not yet. I definitely want to, though.
I have watched the first 3 episodes. You are a fan of professional wrestling. I know you are. You're a fan of all wrestling. You will like it, I think. It is definitely for the hardcore fan.
Yeah. I will be on a separate note, but related to wrestling. I am going to the Wolstein Center. I will be at AEW Dynamite tomorrow.
That's right. Have fun, bud.
I cannot wait. I am getting MJF versus Mark Briscoe in a grudge match. What could potentially be a number 1 contenders match. I am getting the Young Bucks, which I am loving this new gimmick. Oh my God. They don't even get a proper ring entrance anymore. They just are already in the ring and they're basically treated like jobbers. Like, Their graphic just says talent name. They're going against Bandito, and Brody King in the tag team tournament tournament to see who will eventually challenge the Hurt Syndicate at Forbidden Door. And we've got Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks, coming back. We've got a fatal four-way to see who will represent AEW at Forbidden Door for the TBS Championship. I think it's Alex Windsor, Sky Blue, and I can't remember the other two. But that's what's on the card so far.